Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Area workers who were laid off because of another union strike cannot receive unemployment benefits.
That's the law in Wisconsin, and therefore true for any workers who might find themselves in that situation. In this instance tonight, about 200 members of Manitowoc Crane's Machinists union are on strike. They're upset the company wants future workers to be able to decide if they want to join a union instead of being forced to do so. Company officials blame the strike for the layoff of another 150 workers in a separate union of Boilermakers. However, the company is bringing back the Boilermakers as it hires replacement workers for the Machinists. Still, the Boilermakers don't qualify for the unemployment benefits. And now, as Fox 11's Beth Jones reports, a group of lawmakers wants to protect the workers who lose their jobs because of someone else's strike.
James Rosoff is finally picking up a paycheck after getting called back to work a week ago. He was among 150 Boilermakers laid off by Manitowoc Cranes last month. Even though Rosoff is once again getting paid by the company, he must now pay back the state.
I got called back, and then last Friday I was informed that the money that they gave me for unemployment compensation I needed to return.
And Rosoff says other employees found themselves in the same boat, and some didn't receive any benefits at all, because it turns out they aren't eligible.
I've been a hardworking man all my life. I get laid off through no fault of my own, and then I don't get benefits.
According to current state law, an employee, union or non-union, who has lost his or her job because of a strike or labor dispute is not eligible for benefits.
It's part of the state statute on unemployment insurance. In fact, it dates back to the 1930s.
Perhaps back in the 30s when the unemployment compensation laws were first put together, and they were quite revolutionary at the time, that there was a goal was to try to protect against manipulation of the system.
Ziegelbauer is one of the co-authors of a proposal to change the law. The potential bill would make non-striking workers laid off because of a strike eligible for unemployment benefits. Ziegelbauer says he can only speculate as to why the original provision was in place. Officials with Workforce Development couldn't answer the question either. But he, as well as other legislators, feel it needs to change.
We all hope in the community here that they're back and working quickly. We don't want this to happen again to somebody.
Officials expect the bill to be taken up sometime next month. In Manitowoc, Beth Jones, Fox 11 News.
Company officials say they support the bill as well and have sent a letter to the governor endorsing it. Manitowoc Cranes says it plans to call back the rest of the laid-off Boilermakers union workers within the next week. As for the strike, the Machinists union says the talks are standing still.